Hi everybody, thank you for watching. So I'm really excited for today's video because it is going to be another Will I Buy It video where I go through some new releases in the beauty world and let you guys know if I'm going to purchase them or if I'm not going to purchase them, why I'm going to purchase them, or why I'm not going to purchase them. I also go into a little bit of detail on, price, where it's available at, what's included in this product, and just kind of like the pros and cons that I think in general, any reviews that I've seen already so far. So I just kind of break down each product for you. Like always, I have 5 different products that I'm going to talk about. Some I will buy, some I will not buy, but I'm just really happy that you guys enjoy these Will I Buy It videos because it gives me a chance to be able to talk about some new products and go into my thoughts on them without feeling the pressure of having to buy everything, because that definitely is a huge pressure being a YouTuber who doesn't get really fancy PR packages. This really helps me out being able to put out content for you guys that I think is still somewhat enjoyable because you guys keep asking for them and giving me suggestions on what to do in my next Will I Buy It video, but without having to spend money. You know what I'm saying? But if you would like to see my next edition of Will I Buy It, please keep watching. What I want to talk about is from Smashbox Cosmetics. It is their Lighted Up LA Lights palette with contour, blush, and highlight. So I will insert pictures of each of the products that I'm going to be talking about over here so you guys can see what is inside of them. But this has 9 different shades in there. You get blush, you get highlight, and you get contour. So I actually saw a few videos come out about this on the reviews of it, and they were showing swatches of it, and nearly everybody's opinion of this has been good. The swatches have been good, just the overall consensus of this palette has been that it's really good. Now, a couple months ago, Smashbox actually did send me a PR package, and inside was a couple of their LA Lights blush and highlight trios where it has 2 blushes and a highlight. So I actually was able to, test out the Smashbox formula, see if that, if it's something that I really like, and I was very impressed with both the blushes and the highlights that I was trying. So I only kept 1 trio for myself. I gave the other 2 away, and I was actually really sad about it because I was like, I actually really like these. They would have been really nice to have in my collection, but I decided to put them in giveaways for you guys. So when I saw this palette, I was like, that is a great way to get back those blushes and the highlights that I didn't have anymore, have it all in one nice palette, and even get some contour shades in there as well. I watched a lot of different review videos. I've looked up the reviews on Ulta. The general consensus, not everyone's going to agree on everything, but kind of what I'm seeing the feedback wise is that this palette is really good. It is $39 for the 9 different shades, and it also is exclusive to Ulta. You can get it on Smashbox website, but it is an exclusive to Ulta, so it will be linked down below. Everything that I talk about will always be linked down below, but for this one, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say I will buy this palette. When I was doing the research for this video, I actually could not find it. I didn't realize it was exclusive to Ulta, and I was panicking. I was like, no, this is gone already. Like, I actually really wanted that. Once I started seeing more videos on it, I was like, I really do want that. I really do want that. And it's very interesting because I'm not a huge blush person, and I've said it in my videos before. I don't often gravitate towards blush palettes because I'm simply just not a big blush lover. So many people are, but that just happens to be not what I'm super into. But this just really caught my eye, especially being able to see a lot of the swatches in the videos. That was so helpful to me, and I just thought it looked amazing. So for $39, I like Ulta. I have a lot of points built up at Ulta, so I could definitely use my points over at Ulta. But I also really like Smashbox Cosmetics. They're a brand that I've started using a lot more of, not only like blushes and highlights. I have an eyeshadow palette from them that I think is amazing, and I also have their X-rated mascara, which I think is phenomenal and that not enough people talk about. So I'm excited to give this a try. I think this would be definitely a good purchase for the holiday season. So I think that I will be purchasing the Smashbox Lighted Up Blush, Highlight, and Contour Palette. What I want to talk about is one that a lot of different people have asked me if I am going to buy it or not. If you guys ever have a product that you want me to talk about either in the Will I Buy It or my anti-haul videos, please do leave that in the comments below because I look at all the comments and I try to include everything that you're saying. But this is one that definitely so many people have asked me about, and it is the Kat Von D Metal Matte Eyeshadow Palette. So this palette is $60, and from the Sephora website, it says an exclusive ultra limited eyeshadow palette with 13 rich mattes and 9 metal crush shades. Okay, so You know, I've talked about in a lot of my other Will I Buy It and anti-hauls that I try to stay away the best as I can from limited edition. One thing that I think is cool about the Smashbox palette, even though that is limited edition because it's part of their holiday set, a lot of what is inside the palette is not limited edition. The LA Lights blush and highlight trios that I talked about, I do not think that those are limited edition. So even if I was using that palette, but I was using a specific blush, that might not necessarily be limited edition. So that was another thing that I did want to say about Smashbox, but I do try to not buy too much limited edition. I'm not going to say that I don't buy limited edition because that is not true at all, but I try to be cognizant of what exactly I'm buying that is limited edition and how much I'm buying, because people do get frustrated when things are limited edition. They often miss out on it. Then when you constantly use it in tutorials or featuring it or recommending it, people are like, cool, but I can't get it. So that sucks. So this one said it was ultra limited edition, I believe is what I read. So that's kind of like a red flag right away. $60 is quite a bit of money, of course, but then I've said it before in so many of my videos, I'm not a huge eyeshadow palette junkie. I'm simply not. I'm not a blush person either, but I'm also not like a huge eyeshadow palette junkie, mostly because they are obviously more expensive and there's always at least one shade, if not two or three, sometimes even more, that just aren't like the others. They're not as pigmented as the others, or you know, they're just not the same quality or a shade that you would tend to reach for a ton. So looking at a picture of this, you know, I see darker colors, the blues, greens, purples, not a ton of shades that I normally gravitate towards. Like I have the Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette, and that is what is on my eyes right now. Fabulous palette. I use it all the time because I love mattes, I love neutrals, I love browns. Obviously that's kind of like a palette for me. These crazy pops of colors, I don't necessarily use them a lot, so there are quite a few shadows in here that I'm like, you know what, I'd probably only use these every so often, so is $60 worth it for that? For me, I don't think so, but I have also been watching reviews on this, and I've been watching swatches on this, and again, like the overall general consensus is people aren't really loving it. I'm not saying that nobody out there loves it, because I have seen a couple people say, you know, I really love this palette and you know, swatch is great for me, but a lot of the reviews that I've read and the videos that I've watched, people aren't in love with it. So, you know, not being an eyeshadow junkie, having it be $60 and having it be a palette that I don't think I would reach for a ton, that kind of all adds up to me not going to purchase this palette. It does look really nice. I would definitely say check it out. Like if it looks like it's your cup of tea, I mean, hey, it could be good for you if you're a big Kat Von D collector. I know a lot of people were really excited about this palette, but for me, I'll probably stick with my Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D because that is like a go-to of mine. But rolling, next we are going to talk about a new eyeshadow palette from Marc Jacobs. It is the Marc Jacobs Beauty About Last Night Style Icon number 20 eyeshadow palette. So that is quite a name, but new eyeshadow palette from Marc Jacobs Beauty, and it is $99. So I feel like you guys already know what I'm gonna say, because not only am I not an eyeshadow junkie, but $99 for an eyeshadow palette. That's not you're not messing around with this eyeshadow palette. So from the Sephora website, it says this is a limited edition palette with 20 plush eyeshadows in luxurious finishes for a complete wardrobe of looks. Okay, so 20 eyeshadows, $99. That's expensive. So I like Marc Jacobs Beauty. I have a couple products from them and I like them, but it is very, very, very pricey, and you know, I just cannot justify spending $99 on an eyeshadow palette. The palette looks nice. There are quite a bit of deeper colors. There's a black in there, and people do like having black. I believe it looks like there's a mirror from the pictures that I'm seeing. It does look like a mirror is included, which I would hope so, and a $99 palette. It looks like there's some mattes in there. I see some nice shimmer shades in there as well. This palette also looks really large. I actually have not seen anybody do a video on this yet, but it looks like a pretty large palette, so I don't think it would be super easy to travel with. But again, I kind of keep going back to the $99. You know, I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes that I really love and I use like on a near daily basis, and I think this one looks nice, but not enough for me to justify spending $99 on it with how much I think that I would be picking it up. Again, limited edition. I try not to buy a ton of limited edition, but I'm very curious, like, has anyone bought this palette or will you buy this palette? I know so many people like on these will I buy it and even my anti-haul videos, they're like, I'm an eyeshadow collector, I'm an eyeshadow junkie, like eyeshadow palettes are my weakness. So I know there are a ton of you out there. So you guys, please tell me, like, are you gonna purchase this one? Have you already? Do you have any feedback on it? Like, let me know, but let others know, because I think such a good thing about YouTube is that we get to, you know, bounce these around. Like, so not only in these types of videos where I can't actually show you the product or show you the swatches, but I can just give you my feedback as a normal person and say, this is what I think, and this is, you know, the thought process that goes into me buying makeup. But then you can go to someone else's channel and you can see the swatches and you can see their feedback, so you can get an even better idea of if you should purchase this. So if anyone does have this palette, please leave it in the comments down below. Let us know what you think of it and if you think that it would be worth it. But for me, limited edition, $99 and an eyeshadow palette, I'm not going to be purchasing this one. What I want to talk about is like a brand new release at the point that I am filming this. It is from Tarte Cosmetics and it is their Tarteist Pro Amazonian Clay Palette. So I'm sure many of others out there are watching the Snapchats of Tarte's Trippin' with Tarte trip that they are taking right now with Bora Bora. They have a handful of influencers down there, and these like influencer trips look amazing. I don't know how I can get signed up for that, but like I'll raise my hand right now. Bar has looked amazing. I've been watching all the Snapchats. It looks crazy incredible. I've never been to Bora Bora. Hope to get there someday. But I think it was like on one of the first days that they were there, Tarte announced that they were dropping this new eyeshadow palette, and they have also dropped even more throughout this trip, like a highlight and contour palette, new lippies. If anybody wants to see those in upcoming videos of will I buy it or anti-hauls, please leave it in the comments below. I just chose to talk about the eyeshadow palette because it was actually what I first wrote down when I saw the snaps coming out and then saw this palette. I was like, need to put this in my will I buy it video. So that's why I just chose this one, but let me know if you want to see more. So for this palette, it says it is a pro level everyday eyeshadow palette with 20 ultra pigmented shadows powered by naturally derived ingredients. Another thing that I've seen through the Snapchats with Tarte is that kind of their thing with these new releases is that everything is natural, 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 natural. It's a really big thing right now in the beauty community that I'm seeing. Natural. So you get 20 of the different eyeshadow shades. I'll insert pictures over here. It comes with a mirror, and they have like 4 eyeshadows on the side. I believe those are duochrome eyeshadows. So interesting. I just recently purchased the Tartelette and Bloom palette. Absolutely love it. I have the Tarte and Style by Harouche palette. Absolutely love it. I've been a big fan of the Tarte eyeshadows. This palette is going to be $53. So this one took me a hot second. With the Kat Von D and the Marc Jacobs Beauty, I was like, nope, immediately knew those aren't for me. I won't be purchasing them. This one, I sat down, I looked at it, I watched the swatches of the influencers in Bora Bora who have it. They're doing the swatches and creating the looks with it, and I was like, man, there's duochromes in there. I've recently been getting into duochromes. If you've seen my last makeup tutorial using the Wet n Wild palette, I was like so pleasantly surprised that there was a duochrome in there. I wasn't ready for it. So this one was actually a really tough decision for me, but I decided that I'm not gonna buy it. Honestly, I think it looks really good. I do. I think it looks really good. I've been very impressed with Tarte's eyeshadow palettes. But $53 is a bit expensive. We know I'm not an eyeshadow junkie. We know. I say it all the time. We know. But I haven't seen anything that said it was limited edition. So I'm looking at the Tarte website right now. It doesn't say limited edition. So I hope it's not, because limited edition, like, seriously gets so old after a while. I hope this one is not limited edition, because maybe in the future this can be one that I purchase. Like, I just bought the Tartelette and Bloom palette because everybody still raves about it. So even though that's not anywhere close to a new release, like, I just bought it because I was like, this palette looks amazing, and it is. So hopefully it's not a limited edition, so in the future, in case I change my mind. But at this moment in time, I'm not going to purchase it. because like I said, I've just purchased the Styled by Harush palette very recently. I just bought the Tarte and Bloom palette not that long ago, and for someone who says she's not a big eyeshadow junkie, I've been buying a couple eyeshadow palettes here and there. I just got the 350 from Morphe not too long ago. Like, I have newer eyeshadow palettes that I feel like I need to be using more before I start buying a ton of new eyeshadow palettes. Honestly, this palette looks really fun. You know, you have your fun pops of colors in there, but nothing like too overwhelming. There's still a lot of really pretty neutrals in there, so I think the palette looks really, really pretty. Maybe this could be something where like I cash in my Ulta points and get type of thing, because honestly, I do want it. Like, if money was no factor to me, I would probably purchase this one. But unfortunately, like most people, money is a factor for me, so I have to pick and choose out of which categories for beauty that I want to be spending my money on, and right now, I'm gonna have to say no to the palette for that reason. But like I said, hopefully it's not gonna be limited edition and it'll stick around for a while. I can actually see, because it just released 2 days before I'm filming this video. I haven't seen a ton of reviews on it yet. I haven't seen a ton of swatches or makeup tutorials on it yet. So, you know, it'll also give me some time to check it out, watch other people's YouTube videos, look at their Instagram posts of swatches, and make my decision from there. Just $53 is just a little bit more expensive for me. I know it's all natural. I know it's supposed to be like a pro palette, but you know, just for mostly money reasons at this time, I won't be purchasing the palette, but looks really good. If anyone else has got it or you've already got it in your hands, let us know in the comments down below. Alright guys, so I got one more to talk about, and I am really excited to talk about this. So this is a new collab with Morphe brushes and YouTuber KathleenLights. They are collabing together to put out a new eyeshadow palette. So I love Morphe as the brand. I have a lot of products from them, including eyeshadow palettes, and I've been impressed with about everything that I've gotten from them. I also really enjoy KathleenLights. I've been a subscriber to her for a very long time. I appreciate how relatable she seems and how genuine she seems, and not only that, but I have purchased a lot from her collabs, like especially with ColourPop. I've purchased a lot from her collabs with that company, and I have been impressed with everything that I've purchased so far that she has done a collab with. So when I saw that she was collabing with Morphe, I got pretty excited. This collab has been kind of been a secret. Kathleen's been doing quite a few collabs lately, and she kind of kept teasing like, I have one more coming, I have one more coming, and it was kind of like, who is it going to be with, who's it going to be with? Well, it's going to be with Morphe, and I got really excited because I'm a big fan of Morphe. Like I said, great brand, great products, still an affordable price. I appreciate that. So the KathleenLights and Morphe palette will have 15 different eyeshadows. Some are eyeshadows that Morphe has already released. Some are new eyeshadows that will be exclusive to this palette that Kathleen helped come up with. So 15 shadows. The palette will release on Morphe's website on October 25th. The only downside to this one right now is that I still have not been able to find a price. Sometimes when I film these Will I Buy It, items are still so new that prices haven't been released yet. This is one of them. So if by the time that I put this video up, if the price has been released, I will leave it linked in the description box down below, and I can put it up here. But at the time I'm filming, price has not been released yet. But it will launch October 25th. So I know what you guys are thinking. This will be a limited edition. So it's going to be limited edition, and it's an eyeshadow palette, and I don't have a price yet, so I'm probably not going to buy it, right? I think I'm gonna buy this one, guys. So, you know, we all have our different things, and this is why I like to do these Will I Buy It videos, because I take you through my thought process of what it means of how I buy makeup. So even though there's no price, Morphe is known for being more affordable. There are 35 eyeshadow palettes, like the 350 and the 35T that I both own. I believe those were $22.99. There's also a zillion discount codes out there for Morphe. You usually get 10% off a purchase. I'm sure KathleenLights probably has one herself that I would use when I purchase this product. So automatically, I think that you're gonna probably get 10% off this palette. So no matter what the price is, I don't think it's gonna be in the $50 range like the Tarte one. It's not going to be the $60 range like the Kat Von D, and it's definitely not going to be $100 like the Marc Jacobs. It should be on the more affordable side, plus a discount. Also, I've been wanting to place an order with Morphe for a very long time. You get free shipping on orders over $100. I literally have been waiting to hit that $100 mark because I want free shipping. Yes, yes. this is my life. This is who I am. I want free shipping. I don't care if I have to spend $100 when all I want is like a makeup sponge that costs $7.99. I will wait until products come out that I really want to get that $100 to get that free shipping. It is just who I am. It's just who I am. So I'm excited for that reason. Even though it is limited edition, I still think that I will purchase this one. And even though it's an eyeshadow palette, once again, I'm still planning on purchasing this palette. I really do stand behind Morphe's eyeshadows. I have their eyeshadow palettes. I think they're amazing. KathleenLights, love her as a YouTuber, but I've been super impressed with all of the collabs that she has done in the past that I have purchased myself. I haven't purchased all of her collabs, but I've purchased quite a few and I've been very impressed with them. I have already seen swatches of this on Snapchats. It looks like they've already gone out to some of the beauty influencers, so they have been swatching on their Snapchats. I have been watching. I have been impressed. Like I said, it's 15 different eyeshadows, so it looks like there's a combination of matte and shimmers. There are some fun colors in here that I am not afraid of. Like there's a few pops of colors that I'm like, okay, I could get down with that. But overall, it kind of does look like a more neutral type of palette and what I would gravitate towards. That's why I think that I'm going to purchase this palette, because I figured that I was going to purchase this like this. The moment that I saw that this release was coming out, like it clicked in my mind that I was like, yep, I want that. So when thinking about a palette like the Tarte palette, one that I was like, you know what, I actually really do want this, but you know, for money reasons and that sort of thing, it's because I also am planning on purchasing this Morphe palette. So do I need to buy 2 eyeshadow palettes at the exact same time and spend, you know, more money on that? No. So that is kind of how I pick and choose. If I see an eyeshadow palette that I'm like, yep, this is what I want, then I will probably forego the other eyeshadow palettes and I will pick the one that I want the most. This one happens to be the one that I want the most. So that's kind of another insight into my makeup planning, decision making thing. You know what I'm saying? Really excited. The swatches have me excited. The shades have me excited. I'm just waiting now anxiously to see that price because, I mean, you never know. It could be something crazy, but more than likely it's going to be pretty affordable, including a 10% off code. Like, I'm down with it. So I'm really excited. Again, once I see the price, I will leave it linked in the description box down below. And it launches October 25th on the Morphe website, but I'm excited about this one. Everything for my latest Will I Buy It video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video and me going in depth on some products and showing you kind of the thought process that I have when it goes into buying my makeup and how I decide what I'm going to purchase and what I'm going to pass on. So hopefully you found this video helpful or informative or something along those lines. If you guys have any other new releases that you'd want to see me talk about in upcoming videos, please do leave them in the comments below. I kind of go back and forth between a Will I Buy It and an anti-haul. Both videos not meant to be negative in any sort of the way. It just kind of gives an idea of what a regular person thinks about when buying makeup, because unfortunately we can't buy it all. It just, you know, it is what it is. But please leave in the comments below what you would like to see in future videos. Don't forget, in my last Will I Buy It that I did, I covered a lot of Too Faced holiday releases, and I'm also giving them all away. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, I'll leave it down in the description box below because I go over each item that I will be giving away, but the actual giveaway is on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, I am March Beauty Word. That will be linked down in the description box below as well. But you can win I think it's 4 different holiday goodies from Too Faced. So make sure to check that one out as well. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed before you go, and I will catch you real soon in my next one. Bye.